Hi, that's me, JKXY, a lifelong Pokémon fan. Through the years, I've been into many different gaming titles, such as Pokémon, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario, Call of Duty. Yeah, that last one I'm not too proud of. I have been on an almost 20-year journey with Pokémon. However, I find myself feeling like I'm missing out on something when it comes to games. That one thing being The Legend of Zelda. You see, these games have eluded me for the entirety of my gaming life, and when looking back on it, I have no idea why. But that all changes today, because I will be taking on one of the greatest games of all time, according to many gamers, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Link, the character we play as in the game, wakes up from a slumber to which he seems pretty confused about. We open up some conveniently placed chests, which again conveniently store some clothing. After drenching ourselves in drip, we do a bit more exploring in this strange cave. We discover some form of pedestal, which just so happens to react to our handy dandy Sheikah slate. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. As any logical person would, we place the slate onto the pedestal, which opens up a huge door, revealing to us an opening. We are then met with the iconic cutscene that even those who have never played a Zelda game before have seen. Honestly, this game is beautiful, and you'll hear a lot more praise on these games throughout this whole video. Panning to our right, we spot an odd figure walking in the distance. We obviously have to investigate this. We approach what seems to be an elderly man and steal a baked apple. The old man wasn't happy about this, but played it off as a joke to our surprise. After that amazing interaction, we head out and take on some monsters. We use an axe we found near the old man as our first true weapon in this game. Moving on, we reach a cutscene involving our Sheikah slate, which seems to resemble some form of map. There is a prompt on the map showing us where we need to head next. Naturally, we make our way to this point, but not before doing some more exploring. When doing some looking around, we find a chest with yet more drip for us to wear. We are starting to become an absolute fashion icon at this point. Soon after, we come across some blobby boys. Not the most intimidating monsters in this game, but I'm hopeful these choo-choo jellies can come in useful later down the line. Finally, we reach the destination in which our Sheikah slate was indicating us to go. We examine the strange pedestal, and this happens. Once that incredible cutscene had finished, the tower waters our little Sheikah slate with some very important information. We then hear a strange voice, one which seems to be holding a sniper in the distance. The voice tells us of a great danger, which then becomes pretty apparent when looking at the distant castle. We manage to get down from the tower to once again be met with the old man from earlier, only he flew in. I want to do that. We ask for one of those paragliders the man possesses, however he doesn't seem to want to give us one. He did say we can have one, but in return for something. Treasure. The old man explains that there are many shrines located around this area in which some may contain some treasure. So, our mission was clear. Get that treasure. When looking for some of the shrines, we take on a couple of monsters and loot some of their belongings. We managed to get a traveler's sword, the best weapon we have had so far. Eventually, we find ourselves a shrine, again gaining access thanks to our Sheikah slate. And so, our trial begins. We gain access to what is known as a rune. This rune in particular is called Magnesis, allowing Link to move magnetic objects. We are then able to move this huge metal door out of the way from the ground, revealing an alternative route. Using Magnesis, we use a block to hit more blocks out of the way. Only it didn't go as planned. Nevertheless, we managed to get to the final part of the Shrine's challenge and speak to, well, whoever this is. However, we obtained a spirit orb that will come into play later. The strange entity vanishes as we make our way out of the shrine, only to be met with the old man again. We offer the treasure we found, but he doesn't seem too impressed. He then tells us about quick travel. This feature is a godsend. Once we quick travel back to the tower, the old man tells us about the Sheikah Slate's abilities. He tells us we can use it to mark places on the map, more specifically, shrine locations. So with all the available shrines marked up on the map, we head out on our quest for treasure. Only this quest became somewhat of a side quest when discovering this thing. You see, when stuff like this happens in games, I'm far too stubborn to just ignore it and carry on with the game. I must defeat it. We managed to whittle it down by quite a lot and things looked good for us until we got absolutely pulverized. I wasn't happy, as you can tell. We had another good shot at killing this thing, getting it down to quite literally 1% of its health. I soon realized I couldn't stay beside it any longer and retreated behind the wall, only to realize I no longer have any more arrows. There was no other way of startling this thing, so I had to make a break for the other side of it. I managed to safely maneuver away from the laser, leaving us in pretty much the same position as we were in. I'd run out of ideas and I had no other choice but to rush at it with my sword. Then I got scared and tried to run, but I got absolutely decimated. And again, the next attempt. This time though, I decided to take the stealth approach. Even when right behind it with our arrow ready to go, it doesn't seem to know we are there. And so I take the opportunity to get as many hits in as possible before it eventually does acknowledge our existence. Using our bomb arrows and a lot of our weapons, we patiently take this thing down in great style. I'm not sure if this was optional, but like I said before, I am stubborn with this sort of thing in games, so I'm glad it's dead. After that escapade, we start tackling different shrines, one of which is in this extremely cold area of the map. This was dealt with a few dishes that we learned at a shack. We do a bit more exploring and meet some interesting characters whilst doing so. This little guy gives us a Korok seed, a very important item for later on in the game. After destroying yet another group of monsters, we managed to complete the last shrine in this area. Right after leaving the shrine, the old man glides down to us. He tells us to meet him at a very specific location. We arrive at the location to find a huge glowing statue, where we give ourselves an extra heart as a reward for the 4 spirit orbs we obtained. The old man then asks us to meet him on top of this building. We make our way up to see what exactly he wants from us and why it needs to be on this roof. The old man then reveals himself to be none other than King Rome, the last king of Hyrule. He then proceeds to tell us the story of the past, how we came to be and what happened to Princess Zelda, his daughter. I have to say, the storytelling, voice acting, and cutscenes/flashbacks are incredible. Not just here, but from what I have played through, everything is amazing. Honestly, I'm not sure why I slept on this series for as long as I did, but I am so glad I get to experience it now. Anyway, after hearing the stories from the past, we are given the paraglider we were promised by the king. Once King Rome hands over the paraglider, he then dips out. It was nice knowing you, my guy. Now, finally, we can fly down to the next part of this map, a part only accessible once the paraglider has been obtained. We do just that and enter what is known as Hyrule Kingdom. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I've played around 7 to 8 hours of this game and I have to say it really is one of the greatest games that I've ever played. I'm so excited to share this journey with you all because I have no idea what else is in store in this game. Please let me know down in the comments if you like this style of video, or would you rather it be live commentary? I have about 2 to 3 episodes lined up, which will be the same style as this one, but after that it's completely up to you guys what you want to see. I'll have a blast making these videos regardless. But without further ado, thank you all very much again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.